This is 4X. I am going to go ahead and start a tutorial on XCOM UFO Defense starting base strategies. Well, since this is the starting base, of course, we are going to go ahead and start a new game. Alright, we're just going to go beginner for all this. This strategy is nothing about it. Alright, I am using Open XCOM mod, so that what that does is gives some extra things, including potential radar coverages. But so you won't see that on vanilla XCOM, but you will. The strategies will be the same. So I always choose Europe just because the number of countries in Europe is staggering. You're covering a lot of countries here. If you choose places like the US, you only get 3 countries. Even South America, you get about 10 or so. Antarctica, 1. I mean, so you want the Council of Nations is your major funding early game. Later on they don't matter as much, but early on they do. So you want to be able to cover as many countries as possible to give yourself the most amount of fundage you can. So that's why I choose Europe. Keep your base name descriptive so you know where it's at, but it doesn't have to be like I'm doing Eurocom here. All right. Now your starting base is actually pretty horrible. In this game, the enemies do attack your base, and they enter through the hangars and through the access lift. So the very first thing you do when you start a brand new game, you want to go ahead and build 2 more hangars right up in these corners here. Why you say that if the aliens can attack during any of the hangars? Because you're going to get rid of them. You're going to get rid of these 2 hangars down here once these ones are built. You'll also want to go ahead and start building more living quarters. Because there's a living quarters right here that gives more access. So what you're trying to do is, when you're building your base, you're trying to make sure that when and if the aliens attack it, you know where they're going to appear at. They appear randomly within the access lift and the hangars, but if you know where they are in your base, if you know where your access hangars and your access lift is in the base, and you can bottleneck them to have to go through that access lift right here, then no matter where your guys are, which they'll appear randomly in all the other modules of your base, you can bring them all there and just go through that and do it. What you're doing is just making it easier for you when you're attacked. Early on, you don't need to worry too much about base defenses, but you're trying to get your base defense set up early on. I'm talking about like shooting at the alien crafters are coming, not your interior bases. Other things you want to do is go ahead, and you've got enough fundage to do so. You go ahead and build a large radar system. In the original XCOM, the radar systems do not stack on each other. But in Open XCOM, one of the mods is they do, so you get better detection. So in the vanilla XCOM, once your large radar gets built, you can delete the other radar, and you're fine. General stores, you want to build at least 2 more. The reason for that is you're going to be gaining a lot of stuff, and you want to make sure that you have the room to be able to even buy, rifle clips, rifles, and when you start manufacturing, storage for the stuff you manufacture. Another thing you want to build early on, almost right away, is an alien containment. You're not going to be going after live aliens directly early in the game, but there is the potential that when you shoot an alien early game, you don't kill it, you just knock it out. And if it's still knocked out when you end the level, it's alive. So if you don't have alien containment, when you bring it back to the base, it will die. And this could be potentially a leader, and if it's an ethereal leader early on, then that means you can have psionics way before you even have heavy plasma ready. Potentially. So you want to get that alien containment in first right away. And I always build a second living quarters as well. I mean, so that way I can delete that one and try to keep my personnel below that amount. The reason you're doing this, again, is your starting base is going to be doing everything for you. I personally like to have 100 scientists, 100 engineers, and 50 soldiers on hand in my starting base. So I'm going to eventually have 5 living quarters in my starting base. Other people run their strategies different. That's me personally. But again, I'm going to be bringing in more soldiers really quick, probably about 10 to 15 more from my starting base, as well as maxing out my researchers, maxing out my living quarters with researchers right away, so that way I can start researching all the goodies I'm going to start bringing in, because you'll start running into alien ships early on. Okay, so this is basic defense base strategies for your starting base. This has been a tutorial by 4X. If you like what you see, you can subscribe to me on twitch.tv, Twitter, and YouTube. You can also find me on Facebook as well. And it's all at FOURX11GD. Again, that's FOURX11GD. Thank you, and have a great and wonderful day.